Hello, my name is Claire McFadden. I am a sophomore political science student at Bloomsburg University, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the International Coral Reef Initiative and everything that it does to protect our coral reefs around the world. So to start, let's take a look at some of the dangers that our coral reefs face today. The biggest of these dangers would probably be climate change. This is when the warming of ocean waters results in an increased level of coral bleaching, which causes live corals to die off. Another danger that these corals face is destructive fishing practices, such as cyanide fishing, blast and dynamite fishing, and bottom trawling. Pollution is also a very large issue when it comes to coral reefs, especially when it comes to things like waste, agrochemicals, oil pollution, and sewage. Sewage alone increases nitrogen levels in the water, causing reefs to be smothered by accelerated algae growth. So here you'll see a picture of the Great Barrier Reef with all the corals alive, and next to it you'll see a picture of what happens when the water's temperatures rise, causing the corals to be bleached and to die off. This here is another picture of what the Great Barrier Reef looks like now due to coral bleaching. And this graph depicts how much the temperatures of the water have actually risen in recent years, and it explains why we see those increased numbers of coral bleaching. So the International Coral Reef Initiative was formed in 1994 by 8 member states, these states being Australia, France, Jamaica, Japan, the Philippines, Sweden, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America. This initiative was formed to help save the coral reefs from serious harm that, if nothing is done, will result in complete loss of coral reefs across the globe. The ICRI actually has 3 main themes to the organization. The first theme of the International Coral Reef Initiative is to encourage the adoption of the best practice in sustainable management of coral reefs and associated ecosystems. This initiative's second theme is to build the capacity to get the coral reefs the aid they need. They strive to build this capacity through educating people about how important coral reefs are and the dangers that they face moving forward. This also encompasses the third theme of this initiative, and that is to raise awareness at all levels on the plight of coral reefs around the world. The International Coral Reef Initiative operates based on a call to action that it has been using as its foundational document since 1995. However, these documents have been updated since 2013. This call to action has 5 main points. The first point addresses the problem of awareness. The call to action states that the International Coral Reef Initiative will help raise awareness of how coral reefs and related ecosystems help to fight climate change. The second point assures that the ICRI will meet international requirements regarding coral reefs. This call to action also ensures that the International Coral Reef Initiative will help stop the threat that humans pose to coral reefs by making greater use of regulatory tools. The ICRI also plans to keep track and manage the state and well-being of coral reefs and associated mangroves and seagrass across the world. Finally, this call to action details that the ICRI plans on making this progress through extensively educating the public on how important coral reefs are, how much danger they are in, and what people can do to help. The International Coral Reef Initiative operates on a global scale through general meetings and committee meetings. There is a general meeting held on an annual basis. It is here that members have a platform to share and discuss issues on coral reef conservation. During this general meeting, member states can submit motions for consideration. On the ground, the International Coral Reef Initiative runs through its operational network. The Global Coral Reef Monitoring Network helps the ICRI promote the sustainable practices needed to save the coral reefs and other ecosystems. The International Coral Reef Initiative also operates through 4 ad hoc committees. The first of these committees is the Caribbean Regional Response to Lionfish Invasion. After that comes the Economic Valuation of Coral Reef Ecosystems. Following that committee comes the Enforcement and Evaluation Committee. And finally, the last committee is the Coral Reef Associated Fisheries. All of these committees help the International Coral Reef Initiative reach its goal on a more specified level. Currently, Australia is partnering with Monaco and Indonesia as a co-chair of the International Coral Reef Initiative Secretariat. This partnership will last until mid-2021. Australia will hold this chair for a 2-year term with the support of the Australian Government Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Indonesia is also set to hold the next upcoming International Tropical Marine Ecosystem Management Symposium. The ITMEMS is held every 4 years or so and has been previously held by Australia in 1998, the Philippines in 2003 and 15, Mexico in 2006, and Guadeloupe in 2011. The International Tropical Marine Ecosystem Management Symposium is meant to accelerate and facilitate the goals of the International Coral Reef Initiative. It also advocates greatly for the sustainable use and care of coral reefs and other ecosystems.